Well, good morning, everyone. Today is the day I'm going to take the Moab bike out for its first longer spin. I've not taken it more than about 5 miles at any one stretch at this point. Just did a few shakedown runs. Well, today I'm hoping to do, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 miles, somewhere in that range. We're going to try and hit as many gravel roads. Indiana doesn't have a lot of, right here in my area, we don't have a lot of off-road parks and so forth. There are a few parks in Indiana, the Badlands, Aspen Acres, Redbirds, those sorts of things. If you're from this area, you'll know what I'm talking about. But in Indiana, there is no public land that you can do any off-roading on. We don't. We do have the state forest I'm going to go through, but you're not allowed. You have to stay on the roads within the state forest. So I'm not going to have anywhere near the type of terrain that I'm going to run in Moab here locally, but I can at least try and find the roughest stuff in my area, and that's what I'm going to do today. But before I do that, I'm going to show you something a little bit about the bike. It is about 8 o'clock, maybe about 8:15 now in the morning. My BMV, my Bureau of Motor Vehicles, does not open until 9, and I want to go down there at 9 o'clock this morning and get a plate for it so it's actually legal. I've got insurance now. And then it's like 37 degrees. So by the time I do all that, it's supposed to be mid-50s today. Maybe it'll warm up and be a little bit nicer. But while we're waiting on the BMV to open up, let me show you what I got going on with the bike. So I believe I've got it loaded down with 95% of what I'm going to take when I head out to Moab. Got it all bundled here on the back. I kind of scooched the bag back a little farther to give me a little more room on the seat, and plus gives me something to lean against. You might notice I'm running the quad shocks. I am so curious to see how the bike rides with those crazy things on there. I just think they look cool. They might not ride worth a crap. We're probably going to have to take that back set off, but we'll see how it goes. And I added this, and you guys might go, well, what is that? That is a canteen holder from a CT90 or a CT110. I threw it underneath there. I don't know if I'm going to put fuel or water, probably fuel in that. And it holds about a gallon extra. I'm not going to tap it in to the carburetor. It'll just be, a tank that then you pour out of it into your whatever main tank you're running. But it was pretty rusty, and so I've got the Evapo Rust here, and I poured it into that tank yesterday, so it's sat 24 hours or close to 24 hours. So I'm going to go get the tank, and let's pour it out and see what it looks like now. Now, no, I did not get a chance to show you guys a before shot of how rusty it was. It was just kind of loose, dusty brown. Oh boy, we got some stuff coming out now. I need to get a flashlight. It doesn't look, other than maybe just knocking off the loose stuff, it's not like I'm seeing shiny bare metal or anything. Now, obviously, I did not show you guys the before, but got it much better. You can kind of see the line right there. The brown up above is where I did not fill it all the way full with the Evapo Rust. And then you can see a line of where it's cleaner metal below. Now, it's not completely clean. I think I'll run it maybe through some more Vaporest, but I wouldn't have a problem putting fuel in that at this point. So that's what it looks like on the bike. I went ahead and put a different gas cap on it. I think that fits a Z50R fuel tank. The cork on the other gas cap was shot and it leaked pretty bad. This one I think might leak a little bit. I put maybe half full of fuel in it to carry with me today just to see what happens. So, but that's what it's going to look like. So, all right, I think it's getting close enough. I can run down to the BMV. Let's go get some license plates and then take this thing for a spin. Well, that wasn't too painful. Had about a 20-minute wait getting there right as they opened up. Obviously, there was a rush, and so I was number 15 in the door. So they went through them pretty quickly, maybe 20, 25-minute wait, not too bad. So we're ready. We've got a, in Indiana, they just give you a temporary plate. They used to give you the real plate years ago. You know, you walked out of there and you just put it on the vehicle and go. Now they give you a temporary one, paper plate, and then you get the official one, you know, in 7 to 10 days or something like that. So, but this will make us legal to ride today, which is what we want to do. It says it's about 45 degrees now, and I think it's time to go back to the shop and get this thing loaded up, and let's go for a rip.
Well, here we go, guys. Well, we gotta wait on traffic. Hang on just a second. Put my helmet down here. Let's hope that everything goes fine today. When we did the Lake Michigan trip I did it with my son Brock and Jake and Isaac, and the four of us, we rode little bikes around Lake Michigan. We got up that morning, Brock and I, and we were out at the pickup, and we were talking before we headed out, and I asked him how he slept, and he said not very well. It's like a kid on Christmas, and he was so excited, and I kind of get that. You know, I've been working on this bike for, what, 2 months? And the anticipation of riding it and so forth, I was pretty excited this morning myself. So this is just going to be a slow stroll. There is at one point later in the day, I think I'm going to try and hit a 55-mile-an-hour road just to kind of open it up and see what it will do. But for the most part, it's just going to be 35-mile-an-hour tops, maybe 40. We're doing 37 right now. So, all right, guys. I will pick you up when we get out of town and we see something exciting that's worth filming. Well, that was a short-lived trip. 2.63 miles, so 1.3 miles there, 1.3 miles back. And I am not getting any fuel flow. Look, and my petcock is open. Huh. I did change the gas cap on this. The gasket on the original gas cap wasn't tight enough, and it kept vibrating off. But that was before I had all this gear holding it on there. And so I put a different gas cap. I think I'm gonna go get the original cap and put it back on there and see if we, because I think we've got an airlock. I don't think that tank's able to vent. The caps certainly look the same. This is the cap I bought, the replacement cap. But look at the difference. Look at the center here. This is the cap that came off it. See how it's got a hole? You can see through it in the middle there. And this one looks a little more plugged. You can kind of tell that there's supposed to be a hole in that plastic, but I don't know if it's all the way through. Or that one definitely has a hole. So let's put this cap back on and let's see if it vents. All right, so I've got the petcock shut off. Let's turn it on. Well, at least that's some flow. That's better than nothing. Seems a little weak maybe, but let's see what happens now. All right, not gonna film, I'll shut this off. You guys already saw me go down the street here. We're gonna head that same direction, and I'll pick you back up when we get to something exciting. so far so good. We have just reached the 10-mile mark. I have had no more issues with the fuel. So it obviously was that tank, the gas cap on that tank. This one seems to be working fine. Let's make sure, let's do a gear check, make sure we haven't lost any gear. Everything looks fine. We are at the Morgan Monroe State Forest. I live in Morgan County. The county just south of us is Monroe County. That's where Bloomington, Indiana University and so forth is at. And this state forest obviously jumps that line, covers both areas. So up to this point, we have been on pavement, but as you can see, we're going to be in some mucky gravel road here for a couple miles. So because my tire sticks so back farther than my fender, all my gear is going to be incredibly messy, but hey, that's what's going to happen out in Utah. So all right, let's jump back on the bike and take it up this gravel road and see how it handles on this. Well, the bike is going to need a thorough cleaning after this. Back here, it's still a little icy. You know, you got the trees that kind of keep the temperatures down. The sun is trying. It's a really nice day today. It's supposed to get close to 60. The sun is supposed to shine all day. You guys can probably hear that climbing the entire way here. I'm only going about 20 miles an hour. I'll go ahead and put my mask down, maybe muffle some of the engine noise. I'm going to go ahead and let this just roll the entire time for this gravel road. Actually, the road is in really good shape. I've been down this road before, and I've taken you guys down it. There are times when it's got quite a few potholes and pretty rough, but they have obviously come through and graded it and packed it down or something. It's not actually in too bad a shape. Charging system seems to be working okay. So far, everything on the bike is good. You know, when I left the shop, I was pretty excited. And then as soon as I started having fuel issues, well, that kind of dims the excitement a little bit. Stress starts sneaking in. There's a pickup. I wonder if he's hunting or logging. Oh, they're logging. They're cleaning up some brush. You know, a little bit of stress starts setting in. You start worrying about, you know, what didn't I tighten down? What's going to vibrate loose? So far, so good. The road is actually in pretty good shape. We're going to hit pavement again here for a little while. So I'll probably just shut you guys off until we get to something, the next thing we want to see, or the next time we check gear. I'm going to check about every 10 miles. I'm going to stop and just double check my gear. So I'll see you guys at the next stop. Inside the state forest, there is there's a fire tower. I think it's open to climb. Looks like there's a fence around it. I believe maybe at times that's open that you can climb up it and see the view. I've never personally been up it. And there's, if you can see it through the woods, there's a little campground back in through there. You can't do any off-roading in this. Oh boy, what have I got on my, I got something on my lens. Don't know what I got. There we go. Can't do any off-roading here, but you can, lots of hiking trails. Stopped along the trail, or along the road here. Look at this. That is quite the knot or growth on that tree. Huh, wonder what causes that, any of you arborist type of people. Wow, looks like the pileated or pileated woodpeckers have visited the area also. That's what's done that. Look at the size of this. Look at the size of this hole here. Just for reference, there's my hand. We have those at our house, and we've got quite a few holes like that also. But, wow, that growth thing it just wraps right around that tree. That's pretty cool. A few years ago, they came through and they made some fantastic hiking, walking paths, not hiking, walking paths, bike paths through the forestry. And Mama Warner and I come over from time to time and we'll use these. I'm not sure how many miles it stretches, but it's a few. Nice, wide, they're paved. They run, right up here is the main road, and they run, you know, kind of beside, just off the main road just a little bit. But if you're ever in this area, really, really pretty walk to go through the woods. I'm currently on Bean Blossom Road inside the state forest. I believe there's a little turnoff up here somewhere for a shelter house. Nope, that's not it. That's just a parking area. It may be closed. Shut that so you cut down on some wind noise. We'll go down, and if it's open, take the bike down the little trail that you got a road or to get to it. It's obviously down here a little farther than what I thought it was when I turned the camera on. I thought it was going to be pretty close. Apparently that's not the case. I wonder if this is it and I missed the turn. Let's check this out. Been a while since I've been down here. I don't remember it having this nice of a road coming down this way. Maybe it did. Oh, there it is. But the park or forest or whatever you want to call this area, it's got quite a few of these shelter houses. You can have a little cookout, family reunion, or whatever you want to do. It looking pretty muddy there. Oh, let's see, there's a path here. Picnic tables and little fire pits. Look at that, even got a teeter-totter. Pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna head back up the hill. All right, let's do a 20-mile check up. Not quite 19.8. Still running good on our electrics, charging just fine. Looks like all our gear, although dirtier, is still on the bike. That brand new plate is, paper plate's awful muddy. Yeah, bike's taking a beating. We are on the north side of Lake Lemon, and this is North Shore Drive. We're getting ready to head across North Shore Drive, across the the north side of Lake Lemon.
Don't know if it's showing up on the video or not, but as we leave the Lake Lemon area, there's a little canal here on the right. For the people that don't really live on the lake, they can still have access to it. Take their boat there, their pontoon or whatever. Oh, got some water here. Scoot around it. Bike is doing fantastic. We're about 25 miles in on this particular trip. I'm really liking the higher handlebars. If you remember right, I had just a random set of, I'm not sure where they came from, eBay or someplace. They are similar to stock CT70 handlebars, but they don't quite have the same bends, and I think they're a little bit higher. I don't think they're as high as the bars that Trail Buddy sells. They sell a set of bars that have like a 2-inch extended rise. I would say maybe these are somewhere in between, maybe an inch higher or something than the stock bars, but very comfortable. My dash up here, as one guy called it in the video, where I've got my phone and my GoPro and everything, seems to be working just fine. I'll be curious to see the footage from the GoPro. I had one subscriber kind of ragged on me about that. He said it was going to be too shaky. The video quality wasn't going to be very good. We'll see. Pretty sure the GoPro has a stabilization feature to it. But I think this road is called Bear Wallow, and I believe it's going to turn into gravel at some point up here. Actually, my phone, I believe this is Bear Wallow. So I'm going to shut you guys down, and I'll pick you back up when we get to the gravel. All right, so this is where we're going to pick up the gravel road at. I don't know if you guys can see this little creek or stream here on the right. Really pretty. It's actually not frozen. It's rolling. Looks like they've graded this road at some point. A lot of gravel in the middle. That's a bad place to take a nap, Mr. Squirrel. No, there's gravel's kicked off a little bit. Oh boy, on each side, so they didn't grade it that recently. Oh, we got traffic coming too. A lot of church camps on this road. Probably passed 2 or 3 already, and I think the oldest and biggest one is coming up here, called Waycross. I might be wrong on that. And I see headlights behind me too, so I got somebody coming behind me. Yeah, Waycross right here. You guys,
I'm getting some splatter on my helmet, on my face mask, so I'm sure the camera is covered. We'll get up here just a minute, and I will pull over and check you guys and make sure you're not too covered up. I think the road splits right up here. There it does. Yeah, right there. And we're going to go, as Yogi Berra says, when you get to the fork in the road, take it. We're going to go to the left. Excuse me, I'm gonna take my finger and wipe off the lens on this GoPro. Sorry about that. Wow, they have got some trash piled up there. I'm guessing trash service has not been down through here for a couple days. It seemed like up here on the top of this hill, there is a pull-off to go down to a little lake. Yeah, here we go. Bear Creek Lake. Okay, up here it is. Here's the road for the boat ramp. Public fishing area. Don't know how well the camera shows up the steepness. It's not incredibly steep, but it's got a little bit of a climb or decline to it here. Looks like this lake is still frozen. Parts of Lake Lemon back there were unfrozen. Lots of waterfowl, geese. Looked like maybe some big swans or something were on. I saw some pretty good sized white swan looking. Remnants of campfires, and I'm going to open my mask here. Pretty cool. Excuse me. Well, I see remnants of ice fishermen have been out there also. I don't know if you can kind of see tracks and sled tracks where they pulled their sled out there with their gear. So, all right, let's let's see if we can make it back up this hill now. What do you say? This is the... Oh, somebody was spinning here. Oh, yeah, walk right up it, baby. No issues at all. Cannot wait to take this bike out to Moab and ride with Johnny and Stuart and Patrick. It's going to be a blast. All right, I'm just going to continue for a few miles on this gravel road. I don't see any need to keep filming. You guys have seen a little bit of it, so I'm probably going to shut you down. I'll pick you up at the 30-mile mark. Well, we are at the 30-mile mark. We're at 30.18. Looks like all our gear, although completely a mess, is still on the bike. Everything's doing just fine. Wow, I'm dirty. I'm still on the gravel road. I think this is called Bear Creek Road at this point, and we are in the middle of I don't think it's really showing up how that's going downhill, so we're heading downhill this way. And I hit the 30-mile mark about halfway down this hill, and there was a little pull off right here, so we hit that. But still hanging in there. You know what? And I'm gonna tell you, I don't mind those quad shocks at all. The ride has been very comfortable. Boy, I'm gonna have a lot of cleaning up on this bike to do, or it's just gonna turn into a rusty mess. Oh, I hear sandhill cranes going over somewhere. I don't see them, but I hear them. All right, let's hit the road. Well, guys, I'm stopped for the 40-mile check-in. We are at 40.45, and we have just come off of... No, I'm just filming, man. I'm good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Just come off of a little road called 3-Story Hill Road in Brown County, Indiana. I'm in close to the little community of Fruitdale, and I'm getting ready to jump on State Road 135, which I believe is a 55-mile-an-hour road. I don't have to be on it very long, but I definitely want to see what the bike does and how it handles it. So, wow, is that a honeybee already flying around? Incredible. Bike looks, it's hanging in there. It's dirty, but running great. Probably ought to wipe that headlight off. All right, let's jump on this 55-mile-an-hour road and see how she does. Okay, let's jump out here on State Road 135. I don't see any traffic coming, so let's get ahead of them here. Here we go. Got a slight downhill, so that's going to help us get up to speed. I'm running 17T on the front, I believe, and 33 on the back. There's 50 mile an hour. .52. Part of that is, I mean, we're not going real steep. I mean, it is gradually downhill, so it's not like we're climbing anything. About 52. I think I saw 52 and a half with all this gear. I do have a little bit of a headwind hitting me, so kind of holding me back a little bit. I'm going to run this down to the little town of Bean Blossom and then jump off of this. .53, 54, going a little more downhill now. 55. 56. Uh-oh, and then we're going to have to go up, so we'll see how it does going on. There's 58, 59. Oh, we didn't quite hit 60. I think we hit 59.8 or something like that. Like they're doing some road work or something up here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and shut you guys down so I can concentrate on this. Well, I wish I'd have got a picture of that guy. You know, he's holding the sign there, and he turns and it says slow. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. This is Brownie's Bean Blossom Family Restaurant. If you're ever in this area, pretty good little restaurant, especially for breakfast. Mama Warren and I frequent it occasionally. And just here in a second, on our left is going to be the Bill Monroe. Not exactly what the full name of the thing is. Well, let's see, what do they call it? Memorial. Oh, this is Bill Monroe Memorial Highway. But this is like a music center, a campground. Bill Monroe was a bluegrass artist. I don't know if he was from this area or if he was just really popular in this area, but they love some Bill Monroe around here. We're rolling into the little town of Bean Blossom, Indiana. Not a whole lot here, but we're going to cut off to the right here. Take a little detour. We've got something down here I want to show you guys. Oh, bump. Well, bike did pretty well. I mean, we stayed up with traffic. I don't think we quite hit 60 mile an hour, which we don't need to hit 60 mile an hour. Being able to maintain 45, 50 is pretty good. I don't know if any of you guys remember when I took the trip to West Virginia. One of the people that went on that trip was a subscriber by the name of Perry. Well, I am in Perry's stomping ground. He lives not too far from here. Oh, wow, they're cleaning out around this house. Wow, this has been really overgrown for years. Huh, wow, doing a lot of work. And this is why I came, the Bean Blossom Bridge right here. Old covered bridge from 1880, it says. Pretty neat. I usually pull to this side over here, stop, and this is where I take pictures of my bike. So that's what I'm going to do. The Bean Blossom Bridge. Got typically a gravel road, but it's just kind of a muddy mess. We're going to take this back up to State Road 135 again. And then there is a scenic overlook up here that's kind of neat. So I'll just take this up the hill here, and when we get to the overlook, I'll bring you guys back. So we've pulled off of State Road 135, kind of at the top of the hill. There's a scenic overlook. Like I said, Perry lives over in this area somewhere. We just came from down over the hill this way. Martinsville should be over in that area somewhere where I live, and so we're going to continue to head down 135 here just a short distance, and then jump on a little side road and head back to the house. Well, our next stop is going to be here at Grandma Barnes Road. Here it is, right up here, just on the inside of this FedEx truck. I have actually never been down this road, so we'll explore it together. We are just north of Nashville, Indiana, in Brown County. Nashville is I don't think there's really any industry there. It's just touristy. Just a little blip on the map, stopping the road, and it's just got a bunch of, it does have a neat music center, a couple different places for music there. Lots of shops. Get your fudge and leather jackets and those sorts of things. So but we're at about 46 miles. I'm just going to continue to follow this, and when we get to the 50-mile mark, I'll pull over and we'll take a look at the bike again. Lots of log cabins in this area. They love some log cabins. So anyway, I'll pick you guys up in just a bit. We're rolling into the little town of Helmsburg, Indiana. We're going to pull over up here. We just hit, by the time we pull over, we'll be at 51 miles on this trip. Again, like a lot of these little towns, not much in them. Little country store maybe. Oh, look at here, got another guy, got a couple other guys on bikes. This is the Helmsburg General Store. Well, just did a walk around, checked all the lights, everything's still working fine. The bike is just a disaster of a mess. Everything looks okay though. It's riding really, really well. Looks like all the gears staying where I wanted it to stay. So I'm very, very happy with it. So yeah, we're here in Helmsburg. Looks like there's a sawmill over there. But this is the Helmsburg General Store. I may stop in and get me a little snack before we head out. We're going to leave Helmsburg and head back to Martinsville. We're going to do it by way of Lick Creek Road up here. This is State Road 45. I'll take you into Bloomington. We're going to turn here. 45 is a really nice road to ride, really curvy. A lot of fun on a bike. So, all right, guys, I'm just going to let her rip here. Bike is running great. Everything is working just as it should. Super stoked about it. There is an emu in there. Hey. The roads are a little tricky. Some of those gravel roads still had some ice and so forth because they were inside the trees. Like this is just got a lot of sand, from where they put down when there was snow and ice. And so it's a little tricky, but gotta watch myself, stay out of the heavy stuff. But all right, I'm just going to roll. I'll probably won't stop again until we get to about the 60-mile mark, and probably do one of the last checkups on the bike before we get back to the shop. So I'll see you there. For our 60-mile checkup, we have rolled into the little town of Morgantown, Indiana. And again, I'm at State Road 135. I made a big loop. We headed down south on State Road 135, and then we headed, what would that be, back west and then just have made a big loop back around to it here. But we're at 59.5 miles, or 59.6, so we'll get up here and just kind of stroll through town and then do a pullover. It doesn't have a stoplight, but it does have a four-way light. And here's the main stretch through Morgantown. Got Frenchie's Pub, antique store, flower shop, clock shop, a couple different things going on here. Car, I don't know if it's not a dealership. I think they repair cars there. The best thing about this town, we went by it, but I didn't say anything, didn't show it to you, is the Mexican restaurant up here. Mama Warner and I hit this almost every Friday night. Gotten to know the staff, super nice people. If you're ever in Morgantown, Indiana, highly recommend hitting up Mis dos Ableos, I believe is how it's said. My two grandfathers, I believe, is what it stands for. But I just did a big circle. We're back right here where we came out just a minute ago. They're right here on the right. Fantastic little restaurant. All right, I'm going to pull over for just a second. Well, at the 60-mile mark, I don't see anything any different than I did at the 10-mile mark, other than a lot more dirt. I have not had any more issues with the fuel flow, so obviously was that cap. We have got a mess to clean up, but all right, we got about 10 miles to get back to the house, or get back to the shop. We'll stop when we get there at a fuel station and refuel so we can check our mileage. What a beautiful day for a ride, fellas. I'm at 72.2 miles. There is a gas station up here on the right that we're going to hit. But what a really nice day. The bike just did absolutely fantastic. I couldn't have asked for anything more out of it, I don't think. We didn't climb anything super steep, but it just walked right up everything I needed to. It hit 50 plus mile an hour if I needed it to, so no hiccups. Glad we got that that vent on that cap thing figured out, and I'm glad I had another cap. So I'll go back and look at that one and see if I can't drill that out or something, because I might take a spare cap with me just in case. I know that sounds silly, but I'm taking everything else. Might as well take an extra gas cap, right? So we'll pull up here over this Circle K. And fill it up and see what kind of fuel mileage this thing gets. That's We've got 72.78. From the West Virginia trip, they'd tell me I need to put about a little more than a gallon in, but we'll see. So it looks like we put 0.985 gallons, and we've gone 72.79 miles. So my math tells me that's just shy of 74 miles to the gallon, 73.8. So we're about a mile from the shop. Let's head over there. Well, guys, I think we're going to wrap this video up there. I've said it multiple times. I'll say it one more time. I can't be any happier with how this all turned out. You know, we started with just a bare frame, and we built a bike from scratch. We started with the frame, and then just started adding pieces and parts, and everything worked about as good as what I could hope that it would have worked. The extended swing arm worked great. The Ice Bear Champion front end worked great. I even really do like those quad shocks on there. As silly as that seems, this thing rode great. The weight is pretty well balanced. Going around corners and so forth was not a big issue. It just did what it was supposed to do. All the gear stayed in place. The charging system worked great. I did get it muddy. I'm going to have some work getting it cleaned back up. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. We went almost 74 miles, 73.79 or something like that. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you liked that type of scenery and want to take a ride sometime, April 26th, 2025, I'm hosting a spring ride here it'll leave my shop here in Martinsville, Indiana, and we'll probably hit a lot of those little towns and some of those roads that I was on today. We'll do about 100 miles on that particular day and do a big loop. So if you're interested, hit me up with an email, ct70help@gmail.com, and I'll get you information. But for right now, I think that's good. I got to clean this thing back up before it gets too rusty, because I've never painted it or anything like that. But guys, I certainly do appreciate you following along, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks.